Hello everyone. In today's video, we will be discussing about the top 50 Excel functions. Not in a theoretical way. We'll be using the raw data just like you receive them in a real job. And I will show you how to clean it, analyze it, and extract insights using powerful Excel functions. Exactly the way the interviewers expect you to do. Okay. We will divide these 50 functions into 8 categories. The first one is the math functions. Second, we'll be discussing about the conditional functions. Third, we'll be discussing about the conditional aggregations. Fourth, we'll be looking into lookup functions, where we'll discuss about VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, etc. Fifth, we'll be looking into text functions, how to concatenate different texts, etc. And we'll also be seeing the date functions, and also we'll be seeing the error functions, how to remove errors by using some functions. And also we'll be discussing some other powerful functions that are used daily. Here is the raw data. First, we'll try to understand the raw data. So first we have order ID. For every order ID, there is a date on which day the order came, and we have customer names, and we have different regions where the order is coming from: east, west, north, and south, and what is the product type that we are selling. And also we have different categories, and we have the quantities of the product, what is the price of the product, and also who sold the product, and we have the discount and payment method we have, and we have the total amount. So total amount, we calculated the number of quantities into the price and the discount that we have given. Okay, so we got the total amount. Now we will be understanding first the math functions. We have 12 math functions. We use them in Excel, so you need to understand each and everything practically. First, we'll look into sum. Sum function will sum up all the numbers. Here we have the total amount. So what we will do, sum of, that is the function. You can see number 1 and number 2. So we can sum up from two numbers, unlimited numbers. So we are using the cell reference. We are calculating the total amount that we got from the sale, and we pressed enter. This is sum function. We use it to calculate any revenues or calculate the number of products or the quantities. We use sum function. The next function we will see is the average function. Average will tell you what is the average sale that happened. Okay, average of, again we use the cell reference L2 to L36. So we got average. The total was almost 15,37,512 is the sum of the cost, and we have the average cost as 43,928. Okay, and what we will do, we will try to freeze panes. Okay, now we will able to see. Okay, next we will see about the count function. What is count? Count function will count all the numerical values. Okay, for example, if we want to count the quantities, if we see, we have almost 35 rows and we are trying to count. Okay, so we are counting all that 6 rows. To use that, we use equal to count of, and we use the count function. Okay, and press enter. We got 32. Why? Because it is only calculating the numericals, and it will not count any text which is there, and it will also not count any blanks. So in total of 35 rows of data that we have, it only counted 32. You can see here in the bottom as well, the numerical count is 32. You can see here. Okay, so that is count function. It will only count the numericals. Count A. What is this count A function? Count A will take everything into consideration, numerical, text, everything. So we will use the count A function. You see, you got 34 because it has counted both 2 and 3, which was written in text. It has also counted that, and it has not counted the blank. We'll see what is count blank. It will count how many blanks are there in our rows. Count blank, and you can count. You see, it is 1. So the total rows will be 35. Total rows 35, out of which the count numerical count is everything except blanks and only blanks. So whenever someone asks you about count function, there are three types of count functions. Count A will only count numerical, count A will count everything except blanks, and count blank will only count the blanks. This will helpful in different scenarios. Next, we look into max function. What is max? It will tell us what is the maximum value that is there in the number of rows. Okay, for doing that, max open parenthesis, and we'll do for the total amount. We want to see which order we got the highest amount. So we know the highest amount is 1,45,351. That is the max order that we got in these 35 rows, which is this one. Okay, that is about max function. Next, we'll do the min function. Is the minimum. What is the least order that we got? It is 0 because you have 3 zeros here. What I'll do, I'll just remove them. If I remove them, it is 12,000. So we got 12,000 was the minimum order that we got from all the orders. Okay, next we will use round, round up, round down, ceiling and floor. These round, round up, round down and ceiling and floor all the same. It will round the values. Okay, so first we are doing the round function. Round off this value for the order 1031. We are trying to do that because it has decimals in it, comma 0. It has rounded that 59,785.488 to 59,785. It has rounded the value. So if we'll see, if we rounded to 1, what happens? It rounded to the nearest decimal. So 0.48, it has rounded to 0.5. If we just use 2 decimals, it will do for 49. So it's rounding. Second, round up. If you want to do the round up, like to go to the next decimal, we use round up. We'll use the same and we use 1. It has rounded to 59,785.5 because it has rounded it to the nearest decimal. Okay, and round down will round down to the lowest decimal. Round down of, we'll do this, comma 1. What it will do? It will round down to 59,784.4. Here in round up, it is going to the next decimal. Here it is coming to the previous decimal, which is 0.48. It has gone to 0.5 in round up, and when you are rounding down, it went to 0.4. We'll do it with 0. It will tell you it is 59,785, and you round up with 0, it will show 786. Okay, so this is round up and round down. Next, ceiling. Ceiling is also kind of a round function only, where you can round the value to multiples of 1, 500 depending upon your requirement. Suppose if I want to round 59,785 to 800, I can use ceiling function there. Okay, to do that, use ceiling of this number, comma 100. So I wanted to round up to a multiple of 100. So it showed 59,785 was rounded to 59,800. You can see that. Okay, and if you want to round up to multiple of 10, it will round up to 90. 59,785 rounded to 790. In the similar way, you can do the floor. It is also a round down function. If you want to round down to the multiple of 10, it will round down to 80. Okay, it is showing 59,780, and if you want to round down to multiple of 100, it will go to 700. 59,700. These are all the math functions we should be aware of, and these will be asked in the exams. Now we'll be discussing about conditional functions, which are very important. We have 5 different conditional functions, so we'll be looking into one by one. First, we will look into if function. Suppose if we want to check a condition, we use if function. For example, order status. Okay, I want to check the order status, where if someone is buying more than one, I'll classify them as bulk customers, and someone who is purchasing one as a normal customers. So I'll use a if condition here. So if quantity is greater than equal to 2, I'll consider them as bulk purchasing customer, or else I'll consider them as normal customer. Okay, so we gave the condition if whenever the quantity is greater than or equal to 2, they are bulk purchasing customers, and someone is purchasing single quantity, I'm considering them as normal customer. So here, when you use if condition, you will know whether this person is purchasing more than one or not. We can do it. In place of bulk and normal, you can give anything. Like you can give yes or no. Find out, you will be getting the status. Okay, so that is about the if statement. Next, we will look into order size. Okay, suppose I want to know who are purchasing more than 5. I want to classify them as high purchasing customers, and who are purchasing greater than 2, less than 5 as a medium customer, and 1 is a normal customer. Okay, then I have 3 conditions here. 1, I need to classify them as high, medium, and low. So in that ways, I'll be using if statement. Okay, and how I use if condition? Ifs logical test 1, I wanted to do a logical test quantity greater than equal to 5. I want to classify them as high. Next, if quantity greater than or equal to 2, I'll classify them as medium. And I have 2 conditions. And if these 2 conditions are true, print. Otherwise, if these 2 conditions are not met, I want you to print low. So condition is greater than 5 high, greater than or equal to 2 is medium, and here we don't want any. Okay, greater than or equal to 5, I am printing it as high, and greater than or equal to 2 medium, and if any of the condition is true, print that, otherwise print low. Okay, so now we will see what kind of a customer he is. Is a medium purchasing customer, or is a low purchasing customer, or is it a high purchasing customer? That is about if statement when you have more than 2 conditions. Next, we will see the end function. End function, in end, all the conditions should be true. For example, if I want to see a customer is from East region and having purchased a quantity 2, then I want to see how many customers were there. Okay, so equal to end. First, what is the logical one? I want customer to be East, comma, and I want quantity to be greater than or equal to 2. Okay, these are the 2 statements. Now I will know whether I have those kind of customers. So a person coming from East region and also having quantity more than 2. And if you see here, a person Kiran Patel is from East and also having quantity more than 3. From here we can find out how many such kind of customers are there. That is the usefulness of end function. And next we will be seeing the OR function. OR function means any of the statement is true, then it is true. I want anyone from East and or anyone. I want anyone from East and who are purchasing greater than or equal to 2. That means either I need anyone from East or anybody purchasing 2 or more than 2. What happened here? OR function. Okay, the formula. Region equal to East and quantity greater than or equal to 2. Okay. So now we found out, see, even this condition is true because he is not from East, but still he purchased equal to or greater than 2. So he is also the intended customer for us. Okay. And the last condition was not. When we will use not function. Suppose if I wanted to exclude East and I wanted to have all the other regions. Suppose I don't want East, but I want the all other regions. So not logical function where I need equal to East. That means whoever are East, it will be false, and the remaining person from other regions will be true. That means I need all these people because I don't want East. I used a not function. So these are the conditional functions which we will use. And we have other type of functions which are conditional aggregation, where I want to sum up different regions sum or different categories, we'll be using conditional aggregations. So these are about the conditional functions, and if function and if functions are very important. Now we'll be looking into conditional aggregation functions. In that we have 5 conditional aggregation functions. First we'll be looking into SUMIF function. Suppose we have the raw data here, and if I want to know what is the total amount done by the east region, so we have a condition, we need to find out east region total amount. So we'll be doing the SUMIF function here. So equal to SUMIF of, first it will ask the range. What is the range? So I want to find out from the region, right? So this is my range, comma, what is the criteria? Criteria should be east. And what is the sum range? What we need to print? We need to print the total amount, and I want to print the value. So from east region, from the total amount, 6,31,846 rupees is being contributed by the east region. In a similar manner, you can do west, north, south as well. But if I want to know what is the contribution from the east region, and also I want to know east region and the category is electronics, then we have 2 conditions. Then we'll be using SUMIFS condition function. SUMIFS of, here it is asking the sum range. What is the sum range that you want? I want the total amount, comma, and what is the criteria 1 range? Criteria 1 range is the east region, and I want east, comma, criteria 2 is I want category, comma, I want in category also I want electronics. So here in SUMIFS function, first we need to print whatever is the sum range value, and then we need to have the range, whichever range we want the region. So we have the range here. In that we need east, and in the category range we need electronics, that we are summing. So here 5,09,646 rupees is the amount contributed from east region, and that too from electronics. So we have 2 conditions. We used SUMIFS condition, COUNTIF. So we need to count with an if condition. That means we want to know how many customers or orders were there from east region. Suppose we use COUNTIF. It is asking for the range. What is the range we need? We need for the east region, we want to know, comma, we want the criteria. What is the criteria? It is east. We just want to know how many were there in this particular range, that to east. So we know there are 10 orders from east region. In a similar way we can get for west, north, south as well. And if we have 2 conditions, suppose we want to know east region, and also we need to know how many orders are there from electronics. So we use COUNTIFs. It will ask the criteria range. The criteria range is east region, comma, what is the criteria? Criteria is east, comma, and what is the criteria range 2? I want the category, and in the category I need electronics. That means we need east region and also electronics. We need to count for it. I'll press the enter. We know that there are 7 orders from east region, and that too for electronics. And what is AVERAGEIF? The next function. AVERAGEIF will tell you I have a condition and I also want to know the average sum of it. Okay, so we use AVERAGEIF function. What is the range? I want the east region, comma, what is the criteria? I want to have the north region. I want to know the sum as well. Sum, we are finding the average sale from north region. Okay, so we came to know that 55,755 rupees is the average sales from the north. Next, we will be discussing about the lookup functions, and there are 5 types of lookup functions. To understand in a more practical way, please watch this video, and you will be understanding the lookup functions, where I have explained everything from basic to advanced. Discussing about the text functions. These are the text functions that we have. The first one is the CONCAT function. CONCAT function, what it will does, it will combine 2 or more text values into one single text string. For example, if we have product, laptop and electronics, if I want to merge both of them, I will be using CONCAT function. Equal to CONCAT of, it's asking for the text one. Text one is laptop, and comma, I want to insert a space in between them, comma, and I want to add category. So if you see, both the text have been combined using a CONCAT function. So you can see laptop, electronics, phone. But instead of space, if you want to insert a space, you can do laptop blank electronics. If you want to insert and you can do that. So concat function is used to merge two text values. Okay, that is about concat function. Next, we will be seeing the left function. What is left function? Left function, it extracts a specified number of characters from the left. For example, if I use left function electronics and I want to only print the starting 3 words. So if you see here, from electronics, it has only taken the 3 words. It is very helpful when you're working with phone numbers or working with any initials. This left function is much useful. Next, we'll be using the right function. Similar to left function, right function will take the characters from the right hand side. So again, electronics, and we use comma 5. So it will take the last 5 characters from ONICS from electronics. That is about the right function. It will print the last 5 characters from the right side. Next, we will use the mid function. Suppose if you want to extract the middle information, middle characters from mid, for example, laptop, and I want to start name is I want to extract from P, that means comma 3, and I want to just print 2 characters. That means if you see from P, it has to do 2 characters. That means P and T. For phone, third character is O, and it is printing O and N. So similarly, it is printing. This is the use of mid function. Next, we will use the len function. Len function will tell you the number of characters for the text. For example, electronics, when we use the len function, electronics, the total number of characters are 11. So it is printing the 11 number here. That is the use of len function. Next, we'll use the function trim. Trim function what it does is, it will remove the unnecessary spaces and only keeps one space. For example, in place of John Miller, we have created multiple spaces, and for Meera Shah also we created multiple spaces. What it will do, trim function will remove all the additional spaces and only keeps one space. If you see John Miller, Meera Shah, where we have created multiple spaces, now we are only having one space in between in the similar way. So spacing issues, if you have any spacing issues, trim function is helpful. We will do upper function. Upper function is basically all the characters which are in the lower letter or in proper method. We'll convert everything into caps. For example, I use upper function for the sales rep. You see all the sales representative names have been converted into uppercase. Similarly, if we use lower function, all the sales representative names have been changed to lowercase. And if you use proper function, it will only keep the initial capital letter and the remaining in smaller letter. For example, if I'm using for laptop electronics, if you see, we have 2 caps letters for L and E. Proper function, what the proper function will do, it just initializes only the starting letter and the remaining letters will be all small. You can see that. So these are all the text functions that we have. Now we'll be looking into the date functions. We have like 7 functions here, and there are other functions as well, but these are the most important functions in date. To find the present date, we can type control semicolon, it will give you the present date. And if you want to know the present time, control shift semicolon will give you the present time. And we have functions here, today. If you write today, it will give you the current date, which is similar to control semicolon, also will give you the present date. And if you type control shift semicolon, it will give you the present time. Okay, and we'll see what is the next function, which is now. Now function will give you date along with time. Now function. And what is the year function? Next one is the year function. What is the year function? When you say year, and if you click on the order date, it will extract the year from the order date. So you have the year, month and date, right? From here it'll extract the year, and if you want the month, and if you type the month function, it'll extract the month from it. It'll extract the month, which is January. And if you want to extract the day, you can use the day function, and it'll extract the day from it, which is 31st, which is the day. Okay, this is about the day function. Next we will see the end of month. End of month is a function. If this is the start date, if you type 0, it will give you the month and date, which is January. Month and date is Jan 31st. But in place of 0, if you keep -1, it will give you the last month end of month date. For example, this is January date, last month is December 31st it has given. But if you enter 1, that will give you the next month date. For example, instead of -1, keep 1, it give you February 28th. That means next month end of month date. This is mostly useful for sales reports, or for deliveries, or for salaries, disbursement. All these things we use end of month. Next we use DATEDIF. It will tell you the difference between two dates. Suppose I have ordered date, comma, delivered date, and if you want to know the number of days, you have to enter D, which represents the number of days difference. Here it will show you there is difference of 30 days. From this date to this date, from January 1st to 31st, it is 30 days. But in place of D, if you enter M, it will give you a difference between the dates. There is 0, because the difference in months is 0. If, for example, if you see here, January is the order date, and now the delivered date is April. Now it is showing the date difference is 3 months, because the difference in month is 3. For suppose, if you want years, right? So instead of M, you will just press Y. It will show you the difference. The difference between order date and delivered date is 3 years. From 2026 to 2029, it is 3 years. So that is the DATEDIF function. Now we'll be looking into logical and error handling functions. There are 3 types of error handling functions. First one is IFERROR. Suppose here, if you see in the total amount, we have 2 errors. So basically what we did was, we just multiplied the text with value. That's why it threw an error. So we will use IFERROR function for the total amount, and whenever you are seeing an error, what you should print. Here I will print error in double quotes. So here, wherever there is no error, the value will come as it is. But whenever there is an error, it will print error. So that whenever we want to see these kind of errors, we can just filter them out, and we can see wherever we got errors. So that is how we can see where exactly we got an error, and we can solve those. That is about IFERROR. Next one is blank. Next error is blank. So we need to find out, because we'll be getting a lot of data, like millions of rows of data, and there will be some cells there will be no data. So ISBLANK will help you to find out where exactly in which cell we are having blank. So we use the function ISBLANK to find out the blanks. For example, in quantity, if you want to see where are the blanks, we just type error, enter. Here, see, wherever there is no blanks, it will show as false. Whenever there is a blank, it will show as true. That means in this quantity we are seeing a blank. So we can find out where exactly is the issue, and we can solve it. That is about the ISBLANK error. Next one is ISNUMBER. ISNUMBER will tell you whether in that particular cell we have a text or a number. Okay, ISNUMBER function, again we'll be doing for quantity only. If you see, wherever there is a number, numerical number, it shows true. Wherever there is a text, it is showing as false. Here also there is a text, it is showing as false, and where there is blank, it is showing false. So this is how we can find out whether in our required field we have number or not. So these 3 are the logical handling error functions, and there are some other functions as well. For example, it is easier to use mouse to do these functions instead of writing the formulas. For example, you have the sort function. You can sort from largest to smallest. Example, because these are errors, we can ignore them. You can see when you do the sorting, you will see the number 1,45,000 came at the top. This is also a function. When you want to do it the smallest to largest, again you can do that. So this is one kind of a function. And you also have a filter function. Filter, you can directly use filter, because right now we are in table, we have the filter by default in the table design. But if you don't have filter, we can still come here and you can use the filter button. Okay. Okay. So again, here in the filter also, we can use multiple functions, like we can select greater than only 30,000. So that's why you can only see values were greater than 30,000. So we can use these functions as well. So these are all the top 50 functions which are required for anyone who wants to work on Excel, and this will save you a lot of time. Thanks everyone.